Lights out and away we go. Please help me welcome to the On the Mic studio, Zarar Khan, my returning co-host. And he was absent last week, but the newly engaged Anoosh Zirik. Sorry, I'm gonna
show it
mention
to him.
Show
it to them.
Show it.
Oh, she put a ring on it. Let's go.
Put W's in the chat, by the way, please. W's in the chat for Anoosh. Congratulations. W's wins.
Wins?
Yeah.
Oh, so F's for that. And
F for the
oh,
test.
okay. I never do that. I love you,
Right. I'm sorry. It's Anoosh.
Anoosh.
Yeah, newly engaged. Hello. But we're here to talk about on the eve of your engagement.
Not the Eve at all, but about the Miami.
Yeah,
GP.
which was quite the letdown.
Well,
yeah. I mean,
no, it was very interesting, very fun, bro.
The Formula1Crypto.com Miami.
Don't tell me that was the name of
Yeah,
it.
it was
God
crypto.
damn it.
Bhai, crypto ka bada scene hai yaar.
Crypto.com's been putting money everywhere.
Also, Hard Rock Cafe was like the stadium owner. I was like, what? Like, ye kisne kiya tha?
Kisi ka hai, like this, kisi sports
Just
team
some
ka hai.
American things.
Yeah,
America.
exactly.
It is some sports team's stadium. And
Yeah,
फिर
so-
उसके इर्द-गिर्द
Hoga, yeah, koi bull shows. I don't know. I don't know their team names.
Red Bull.
Yeah,
Sorry, guys.
Red Bull ho sakta hai, yeah.
Red Bull की भी बड़ी sponsorship थी हर जगह वैसे.
Yeah, Red Bull had a lot. And Red Bull had Hard Rock on their car as well this time. They never had that. This time they had it on the wings.
US के साथ उन्होंने काफी link किया हुआ है. US में भी
Do you
ads
know this is
बनाते
the
हैं.
only race in F1's long-standing history where Formula One has paid for a race?
Really? They've paid for this?
The Miami Grand Prix did not pay Formula One or the FI or whoever. Formula One, Liberty Media paid.
यार
the
लिबर्टी का क्या
organizer.
सीन है यार?
You're telling
ये-
me they paid those policemen to show up and escort their drivers around afterwards?
Usually, every time a country hosts a race, they pay Formula One.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it brings them more tourists, gets their name out on mainstream media. But Formula One had to pay the organizers here but obviously they got their money back. It was a fucking
Sold out.
sold out show.
I will say the crowd was insane.
The crowd was insane. It was also very expensive apparently. People are getting like a bottle of water in Miami
For $6.
For $6.
Yeah. And which didn't have any real water. All was
Yeah.
fake.
Shambles.
Yeah,
That
just
was my
FYI.
favorite part of the weekend. It started off with just Sky Sport, just guy like doing starfish on the fake water. I was like,
Was it Ted?
No, it wasn't Ted. It was the other guy. I always forget his name. I apologize, but he's a good reporter. But that was hilarious.
It's okay. Crofty forgot everyone's name
Crofty
during the entire. This is the worst Crofty commentary I've ever seen in my life.
And that's saying a lot, by
Yeah.
the way.
Yeah.
Because Crofty, like, through the entire time, I was half asleep. First of all, I can't do this. I can't do 12:30. Guys, I'm really old now. I don't want to do this anymore. I couldn't stay awake. And it was weird.
He's, by the way, the youngest out of all of us.
Yes, I'm the youngest one. But I couldn't. I sleep early, man. I couldn't do it. But I saw lights flashing at me, like the police sirens. I was like, रात को मैं laptop पे लेट के देख रहा हूँ, and I'm like, ये क्या हो रहा है?
Yeah, baby. Yeah,
ये
baby.
क्या था यार?
Yeah, baby. You won, baby. It's good,
And then-
baby. What the
Who took the interview? Who allowed this guy to take Formula One interviews? It was like someone told him, "You gotta ask about the tires." Number 2, Max is the champ.
Yeah.
And number 3, Max and Charles have some history through
Yeah.
karting. That's the only thing he knew.
Bro, it was the weirdest.
Put it on a good show,
This
baby.
is why I hate races in
Yeah.
the US.
Bro, every time is weird. I remember the first time they went back to Austin, then they had the announcer say, "Drivers, start your engines." It was just like, dude, they don't even like they put like a plug in it and
Yeah.
it starts up. They don't even press a
Like
button.
fucking drill होती है जो अंदर जाती है.
Like वो पीछे से डालते हैं. And by the way, the worst part is the interview's name is Willie T. Ribbs. So he's an ex motorsport driver as well. So he's a driver himself. So I don't know what he was like smoking or something. It is Miami after all.
Bro, this guy
He was drunk.
was
Like, legit.
on something.
Bro, I love the part where he's like, Charlie, Chuck Leclerc. I was like, ये क्या हो रहा है इधर? I was half asleep, so I was like, this is a fever dream.
Bro, wait.
Max
इसने
didn't-
हाथ legit इस तरह पढ़ा था Max का हाथ पे.
I don't know if that's coming in the
ये
frame.
इसको ऐसे push करता जा रहा था. Max भी
He's
कह
like,
रहा है,
"Champ."
छोड़ मेरा हाथ.
Dude, I
Gave
recommend,
Max so much respect. He's like, "Hey, champ, what's up?"
bro.
Yeah, baby.
The funniest,
Yeah, baby.
The funniest part was just like well, this is the most important event in the world right now. You're on the podium. And Carlos was like, I would have liked more.
Yeah.
Like, bro, I had a crap race.
Carlos had the most awkward interview I've ever seen him give.
His face after the interview
It
finished was
just like,
hilarious.
what are you asking about my tires? Exactly. How did the tires feel and the car? And he's like, I was right.
And that was just
Yeah, baby.
that was just a tip of the iceberg for that weekend, dude. There's so much crap happening. FIA was acting.
No, and then we were led into the fucking police escort.
Yeah, sorry.
Because the main straight is not the starting straight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So they had to be put in a car, escorted with police, taken to the podium. But when they got into the car, they were being escorted by the police. They were blocked because there were cars parked everywhere. They couldn't go anywhere for 10 minutes. And then there were a lot of people walking to the podium, the fans. Amongst them, Christian Horner and his wife and the Red Bull team. Yes. And the cars just like they can't go anywhere because there's people everywhere.
It's the funniest part. Then in the tunnel, you just see this Jeep coming and
Yeah.
then they just stop and then Christian Horner is just walking past with Dr. Helmut Marko looking like, where is this car going? Just like, no idea what's going on.
Where are they taking my driver?
Yeah, the driver you give full respect to. Weird comments this week from him again. Like, I don't know what they need to go back home. Like, bro, please, like
Helmut
someone
Marko
retire him.
smokes crack.
I don't know what he smokes, man. But also, like, it didn't stop there. It didn't stop just at the police, man. Because I woke up halfway through it again and I saw them wearing American football helmets.
Oh my god,
like,
dude, that
I was like, nahi yaar, mujhe
मैं
neend aa
full
rahi
trigger हो
hai.
गया था उस point पे. When they walked out with the helmets, I was like, F1 is fucked.
No, what
If
are-
we keep having races in
Though
the US.
they've brought in cool down rooms back, which I'm
Yes.
Yeah, that's not because of the
yeah, they
US
were
Grand
it like
Prix.
last one.
Yeah,
as
that
well.
happened in the Imola
Great-
Grand Prix.
yeah.
so
Great
that
job,
was
F1.
fine.
Thank you. But like,
It's good inside. They went to the cooling room after the after the race, and they were so tired. The camera goes in. Carlos is just sitting there with his shirt off, and as soon as the camera comes in, he brings his shirt up. Fuck you guys.
Yeah, it's just the most awkward post-race things I've ever seen.
Overall,
ever.
it was just really weird.
I mean, also the week started off weird as well, right? Like Hamilton started wearing lots of jewelry because
Yeah.
they were like, no jewelry at all.
Like
Like,
4 watches,
Yeah.
8 necklaces.
and Sebastian put his underwear.
Yeah,
on top.
Sebastian went full Superman, put his underwear on the outside. It was just hilarious. It's the weirdest weekend we've ever had. And as well, on top of that, we had like a bit of a lackluster race.
Yeah.
Because yes, I know the last 7 laps were fun, but that doesn't make up for the last 50 laps, which were nothing. Even like and also the TV direction was horrible this time.
One of the worst.
This
This is worse than. And here comes Sebastian. Lance Stroll.
that at least we got a good meme out of this.
Yeah.
That one.
Yeah.
This time it was just like they're like, they're battling and they cut to fans. And
They
there's a
were-
part.
There was a battle for the lead, and they
Yes.
cut the fans.
No, the worst part. The cameraman swivels to the fan, and you can hear the fan say, "Oh, are we on?" They're like, "Yeah!" And then they asked the cameraman. They were staged as well. It wasn't even organic. Like you got good
It was
reactions.
like Pakistani news TV.
Like shawarma job. I've done that at wrestling shows just to get them crowd going. But
Yes, I was there.
Bad TV directing, and then Crofty's
shenanigans.
just for an entire battle of an entire lap, he thought
Lance Stroll.
He thought Sebastian Vettel was Lance Stroll.
Stroll.
Yeah.
I was like, is the classification wrong? Am I following the wrong guy?
Is
Did
the
Vettel
T-
overtakes
is the-
Stroll at some
Is
point?
the T-cam color wrong as well? They have T-cam colors for you, Crofty, specifically. It's literally,
This happened
it's
multiple-
literally done for commentators.
No, but I love Crofty, and I think this was just I think it was just he was so out of it because of the weird vibe of the Grand Prix this week.
Also, like I like to say, we've hated Will Smith long before anyone else because you remember F1 2018 Abu Dhabi where
Yeah.
he had a flag, and they should have learned from that we don't give a shit about your celebrities. Because the best part of the week, not the race, not qualifying, not free practice, nothing. It was Martin Brundle's grid walk. Did you guys see it?
No, I didn't
No,
see
I
it.
Oh
but
my god! Why did you
I
guys see
heard
it?
about it.
I should have shown it to you
because he
before.
didn't know anyone.
Bro, he went up to people and he was just like, "Oh, so what's your name?" And this guy was like, just think I'm a social media sensation. And he's like, "Oh, he's modest too." Like he was being the most sarcastic version I've ever seen, and he's always sarcastic in grid walks.
He's apologized. Yeah. He often has like, because sometimes people don't want to give interviews or they don't want to let him near their cars, and he always has like arguments with people. Okay, like, "Main kar raha hu, kya matlab?"
Bro, my favorite ones when Megan Thee Stallion was in Austin last year, and he went up to her and he's like, "Megan, you're a freelance rapper. Could you like do some rap first?" She's like, "Haha, I got nothing." She played it off very nicely, but the guys around her, like her entourage, stopped him, and he's like, "You can't do that." And he goes, "Of course I can. I just did." I was like, bro, this guy's a baller. This guy is not taking shit from anyone. I loved it. Martin Brundle was the highlight of the week. He was trending on Twitter as well. Because of that grid walk, because it was America, so people were like, "Oh my god, who's this old white English dude just talking shit to our
F1.
He's talking to our athletes together." But
let's move on to
the
actual race.
Yeah, I was gonna say let's move on to the actual race. Maybe let's talk a bit about qualifying. It was a fun qualifying. I liked it. Ferrari showed some pace. Of course, Charles Leclerc. He is pole position P2 buddy. That's what he called him. He's like, broski besi to na kar. He's just like, yeah, I didn't win the race, I guess. But he did a great job. Carlos did a great job.
Yeah,
it was
good comeback after the incident in FP2.
Yes, FP2. FP2 was weird as well. Ocon had the exact same crash there as well.
Yeah,
which was safety
in
concerns because
FP3.
like he had a 51G crash there.
Yeah. We need to talk about this because even the drivers were really
Ocon was
vocal
furious.
about it. Yeah.
Ocon was furious.
Sainz kept saying even after the race that I asked them to change the barriers because they're concrete barriers, which is not common at F1.
Yeah, that's common.
They put like those I've forgotten the name of it. The other types of barriers in front of the concrete barriers, so it takes.
The foam ones, right? That's one you're talking
about. The foam ones and the tire ones. The T something. I don't know, man.
Well, basically they had another barrier there which wasn't suitable, and it didn't stop Carlos and Ocon from shitting their pants basically when they crashed into it, because 51 Gs is a lot, and that too for not exactly the fastest corner.
Yeah,
it wasn't it was a slow speed one, and he crashed into it and he was furious afterwards that they didn't do anything after they saw Carlos had this
Tech Pro barriers.
Thank you, Sarkhan. We have laptops now.
Pull that shit up the
Pull that shit up the
Am I Jamie?
Young Jamie, thank you. But qualifying, getting back to qualifying, it was good. We got to see Russell get out qualified this time. Hamilton got P6. But guess who out qualified both of them again?
Valtteri
Bottas.
And if it wasn't for that slip up, just 10 or 8 laps before the end, he would have finished ahead of them.
Yeah, he was faster than them. He just went wide at that corner. Where anyone went wide at that corner was done for.
Yeah.
They lost like 3 to 4 seconds off that. But he had a good race weekend. I wouldn't say it was bad or anything.
We had a few people going off at that corner.
Yeah, a couple.
Pierre
Gasly also did.
Pierre Gasly went off there.
He did. That's when
Vettel
the crash
happened.
happened.
Yeah.
The Gasly went out, and when he came back,
let's focus on qualifying right now. The classifications was that it was Leclerc, Carlos, and Verstappen. So we were on for a good race. And Perez was right behind him as well. So it wasn't exactly that they were far apart from each other. And also the fact the gap between the fastest laps weren't that much.
Yeah.
So, but what we didn't see was how effective the top speed would be in the race.
That
straight line speed.
Red Bull.
That's what Red Bull had over both Ferraris exactly. And besides that, Gasly did well. Norris did well. Yuki Tsunoda did well.
Gasly's best qualifying this year.
Really? Mr. P6 came P7 though.
This is a new beast.
I think that's what happens when you have a Mercedes.
3, 2, 1, and we're back, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry for that.
Technical problems. That was almost another technical problem. But yes, we were talking about qualifying. We had some surprises in there. Lance Stroll showed up in P10, which is pretty great. P9 for Yuki Tsunoda as well. So good performances there. People who were disappointed there were Alonso, Russell, Vettel, Ricardo. Did not enjoy Q2. Did not enjoy Q2 because Mick Schumacher was also P15, but that was fine. His teammate didn't even get to Q2.
He out-qualified his teammate.
Yeah, so that's fine.
Yuki, the AlphaTauris overall had a good Saturday.
Good Saturday.
Pierre back in P7.
Yeah.
Yuki was P9. So it was a good. They didn't get any points.
Yuki wasn't P9, wasn't it? Albon P9.
Albon, no,
Albano was P9. He got the points
on
man.
Saturday.
Yes. Oh,
On
yes, on Saturday.
Saturday.
Yes, on Saturday.
Yeah.
Yuki was in P9. Yes.
It was a good Saturday for them. It was a horrible Sunday
Yeah,
for
horrible
them.
Sunday. Obviously, Pierre had that
Yuki
crash.
out of the points. Pierre crashed twice. But we got a safety car, so that was great.
Yeah, that's the only saving grace of that race.
Yeah.
I feel like we're avoiding talking about the race. By the way, we keep getting distracted because
Let's go to the race.
Let's
I
just-
feel
let's-
like this track has potential.
dude, it has.
I
to
really
have,
do feel like
it has to have potential. It has to be fixed because we're gonna have to see this for the next 10 years.
Yeah.
Which means I will have to stay awake till 12:30 to watch it, and I will be 34 by 10 years. So that would be even worse. for me,
38 doesn't sound real nice.
right? Oh yeah, sure.
37, sorry.
Sorry. No, Anoosh. how
Did
old
we
are you?
did we have a lot of overtakes though? Like I didn't feel
We
that.
we
At
had
the
a DRS train going. So
Yeah.
this track,
No.
I feel like it has potential in terms of the fact that there's straights and the DRS can work. It did work. So it was pretty confusing a lot of the times. You would have like overtakes without the DRS as well. At the start of the race, there was a few overtakes in the first couple of laps.
Yeah, you saw
without the
Hamilton
DRS.
do a pretty good
Yeah.
overtake.
Yeah.
So that gave you hope, but in the end, it's always so. When I've seen that this season, whenever there's a DRS train, because there's two types of concepts that's going around between the cars this year. You can just take the Red Bull and the Ferrari. So if the Red Bull is in front of the Ferrari can't even pass it
Yeah.
due to its straight line speed
Yeah.
being more, and that's just down
Even
to
with
the
DRS, they can't catch.
yeah they can't yeah exactly without
Yeah.
with or without the DRS they can't overtake the Red Bull most of the times, like we saw at the end of the race, because of the higher downforce setup.
Yeah.
So I've noticed that during this season, a lot of the DRS trains, there's always that one front runner in that DRS train which has a higher downforce setup, and they can resist the DRS, and then everyone else behind them is stuck because they all have the DRS and they all have a speed advantage. So अगर पहले वाला फंसा दे आपको तो फिर बाकी
वो
सारे
जो
fuck हो
कॉर्नर्स
जाते
पे
हैं।
मेकअप कर लेता है अपना टाइम,
Yeah.
फिर जब स्ट्रेट पे आ जाता है
Yeah.
तो he has
सिर्फ
that
पिछली रेस
buffer.
में एल्बॉन ने उन सबको रोका हुआ
Yeah, I was
था।
gonna say Albon was the like cock
Yeah.
blocker there in
Yeah,
that race
yeah.
because he had like 3 race drivers stuck behind him.
Yep.
One of those Hamilton and Gasly.
This time
Nothing
it
was
was
happening.
the Aston Martins
Yeah, this time it was
that
Aston
were
Martin.
holding everyone up. They absolutely ruined Lando's race.
Yeah.
I'm
Lando-
not complaining though.
But it was bad. I mean, Aston Martin ended up having a pretty good race because of Seb. They got the point with Stroll. He got lucky because Alonso got 2 penalties.
Yeah.
Well done, my G. He crashed into Pierre first, and then he cut the chicane.
Yeah, to
As
maintain time.
Yeah.
So
which-
before the second penalty, there were only 2 tenths between him and Albon.
Yeah.
So that's why he came 9th and Albon was classified 10th. And now Albon's 9th.
Yeah, Albon's
2
because
points.
after the race they gave him the penalty. They
Yeah.
deemed that.
Yeah.
Williams
cut-
have points.
So Albano got 2 points.
Yeah.
Where did Latifi finish? I actually don't know. Where did he
Don't know.
Don't know where he finished. He
18th?
finished. Where did
Not
he
even
finish?
18th, 17th.
P14th.
14th. Okay.
He beat Mick
Yeah.
Schumacher. Now
Well,
let's
Mick-
talk about Mick Schumacher, guys, because we are big Schumi fans here. We all grew up loving that man. He has a son who is in F1 now, and we really want him to do well.
I want to talk about
But-
Mick and Seb together.
We were talking
Because it
about
was a
together
very,
because they
very
crashed each other.
comparable. No, that and also a comparable race. Both drivers haven't had the best of starts to this season.
Yeah.
But they both had really good race.
Well,
I felt like both of them did. Vettel more so than Mick.
I wouldn't say Vettel has had a bad start because he's missed the first 2 races.
Yeah,
So he's
but
only
then he
been in
came
2.
back and it was just the shit show in Australia.
Yeah, true.
And then Imola wasn't great.
Imola got points.
Yeah.
He did well.
he got points.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
not horrible. It was just one bad race, one
Yeah,
good race.
yeah. But not a great start to Aston Martin's.
Yeah, definitely.
Season.
Nico Hulkenberg
Yeah.
didn't do well with the car.
Yeah.
Lance Stroll didn't do well with the car. It was
The
bad.
car's gotten better, but Seb had a really good race, I felt, starting from the pit lane
P20.
behind Stroll. So Stroll got out first,
Yeah.
catching up to Stroll, being with him. Similar strategy for both of them. They fucked up his strategy with the pit stop
When
later
does
on.
Seb never get a bad strategy?
Yeah.
I feel like since Ferrari 2019, he always gets a bad strategy.
And he had some really good overtakes.
That's what I was gonna say, dude. The overtakes.
The
by him were
racecraft was
sublime.
really, and
He did it from the outside.
all of his overtakes were not in overtaking areas of
Yeah.
the track. It was There was no DRS overtake with
That
him.
was my favorite part about the race.
And he had 2 double overtakes during the race, dude.
Dude, that overtake before Mick careened
Yeah.
into him, it was a beautiful overtake. He
And that was-
he got Ocon and he got Mick in just one corner. It was
Yep.
brilliant.
And it was that shows the level of maturity and the racecraft that he has through all of his experience, because he bides his time. I noticed throughout the race he didn't go for any
he didn't lock up into corners.
yeah, he didn't lock up into corners, he didn't make lunges. He would always wait for his chance, get a double overtake in, bam, done.
That is the Seb way. Seb's never been the one just to charge in
Yeah.
until
Yeah,
Multi 21
great.
comes in play. That was the only time I've seen him very, very
What is your
aggressive.
take on the crash?
My take on the crash is that Mick is to fault.
Same.
Because what about you, Anoosh?
Okay.
Initially I thought that Seb fucked it.
Yeah, because we're used to that.
Yeah.
We're used to being like, oh, Seb, not again.
Because
Because even Crofty
No, he-
was like,
Yeah.
why did Seb spin?
Yeah, and then Crofty convinced me because he was like, that was definitely Seb's fault, and I was like, oh shit,
Yeah,
even
I loved it because it's like karma. They show the replay and they're like, let's see why Seb spin, and Seb does a sublime overtake on two cars. He's like, so Seb spun here? Like he was so confused. He had no idea what's going on. Then they showed that part where at the first corner, Mick it was
Sends
not your
it, yeah.
corner, man.
He sends
you
it.
locked
from the
Yeah.
first replay, it looked like Seb turned into the corner, but then once you see it again,
No,
it's pretty evident.
it was
that
his
Because
Mick-
he was
corner.
very far away.
Yeah.
Like Mick was then. He just
and this
punched
could have
him.
been
It was a dive bomb. It wasn't
Yeah.
even a lunge.
Yeah, this could have been such a great moment for both of them. Come into the points, Mick's first points in
points,
Formula
yeah.
One,
Yeah, not
and
just
then to
this
finish
year.
right next to like
His hero.
his probably his hero is his dad. But,
I know, but
Yeah,
like,
no.
yeah, his dad's definitely he's a lot of people's
but his
heroes.
friend.
Yeah,
his
friend, mate. I mean, it was, I like how Brundle afterwards was saying you can't be mates in F1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's
Yeah.
it's a harsh truth,
Yeah.
but I don't think it's that true anymore. We're not in the Nelson Piquet era where you get out of the car and punch the shit out of each other.
Well,
that
Still
doesn't.
can happen. Max try to beat up Ocon. So
Oh yeah,
like,
remember this? I love the scales guy. This guy does scales like scales. mat ho gaya.
He's like,
Those are
bro,
expensive.
I gotta मैंने काम करना है यार अपना
मेरी job
एक
on
ही
the
है,
line है यार.
मेरे पास एक ही है bro.
Dude, that guy had such a bad year that because even Seb almost like remember when Seb, what was it, Brazil? Seb went over the scales
Yeah,
as well,
yeah.
and he was like, "Just move the car." He's like, "Bro, wait."
Different scales though.
Different scales. Yes, that was for the
Probably
car.
a different guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, same guy. He's there.
Same
as well.
guy does
Yeah,
it?
the
Same guy.
Yeah, he's there as well. He's their scaler. I don't know.
Scaler. He's
you
the
will
scale
handle
guy.
scales.
But going back to Mick, I mean, I really feel if Mick doesn't do well this year, I don't think he deserves to be in F1 then.
Yeah.
If he doesn't get points, if he doesn't beat Magnussen on a regular basis, or at least they're neck to neck.
So your junior record can only get you so far.
Yeah,
Is what I'm gonna say.
We've seen that it might not even get you into F1.
Yeah.
Oscar
Most of the
Piastri. Yeah, exactly. So I think Seb was totally right. They were very diplomatic afterwards. If you saw the post interviews,
I didn't.
So Seb was just like, "It's fine, it's okay, it happens." But it was definitely
No, even in the radio, he knew that Mick hit him,
Yeah.
and usually he's frantic.
yeah, it was definitely
he
a
was
mind
very-
Gunther
yeah.
sign
Yeah.
moment.
Yeah,
I'm
but
sure
he was
Netflix will
very-
use that clip.
He was
Yeah.
he was pretty, and I think even he thought that he might have been at fault initially
No,
on the
he-
radio, because he was like, "Oh, I didn't see that. Ah, shit.
Yeah,
Guess
I
it's
think
done
he-
for us."
I
Because he
think-
was like, "I'm not gonna say
Yeah,
that
Then
this
Mick-
isn't my
yeah.
fault.
You messed up.
I'm gonna."
You messed up.
And Mick
kid.
was like, "Come on, that was my corner, man."
Yeah, but it was almost like he was trying to like force him to say
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
They didn't want to say it. They were very diplomatic. I'm sure they're gonna have a moment afterwards. They've had it off camera.
Yeah,
They'll
yeah,
be
they'll
like-
definitely.
they'll be
Yeah, no, I think Seb's
Yeah, yeah.
mature enough to handle these
Seb
things now.
is definitely more mature. He's definitely the most mature driver on the circuit, most
Yeah.
likely. I can say that in confidence. But yeah, Mick didn't have a good time. Vettel was having a great time. But let's move on to the fact that
Also, just before we go off of Aston Martin, I read that that they're getting some upgrades, a big upgrade package for the next
Finally.
race.
yay.
So they've gotten better. They're
Yeah,
points
some pace
worthy
is coming
already,
up, Yeah.
I think
and and apparently it's a big upgrade package. So if
Booty got
that
it.
works out, apparently they had a completely different concept in the wind. I don't know how much
That's-
truth this has to it, but I read it in a lot of different places, and like a lot of
It would be
other
interesting-
YouTubers were talking about
It
it
would be
also.
interesting to see it completely
So maybe they've taken some of those approaches and brought this into the current car. But I'm excited for Aston Martin if they get their season underway, and they can very easily come up to
The midfield.
The Mercedes point, the Mercedes Alfa Romeo
Really?
point.
You're that confident about it?
I don't think there's that big of a difference.
Okay, I don't know if they can get that close because I see Mercedes bouncing back quicker. Because in qualifying
Depends if Mercedes bounce back. Whenever
they're
they
literally
already
bouncing.
they already brought a lot of upgrades into this race, so
Yeah.
I don't know if they can keep bringing upgrades every single race.
Because it's a cost cap, right? As
The
well, so
cost
it
cap
was-
and also the biggest effect we're seeing right now is the lack of wind tunnel hours now.
Yeah,
So you're seeing
they have the least.
they have the
wind
least
tunnel
because
hours.
they're the champions from
And
last year.
Aston Martin has, I think, 8.
They were P8.
They were
yeah.
P8, so yeah.
So I think they have a lot more. So they have more chance of. That's why they have 2 packages they can test out. So that's definitely showing its effect. Maybe that's why Ferrari aren't able to do that much work
Yeah.
yet as well on their downforce issues, because wind tunnel hours are scarce this time.
Yeah. Last season, when the last season was ending, I was actually hoping Ferrari wouldn't come third because I knew these rules were going to come into play, and I was like, if they want to win the championship,
They gotta.
more wind tunnel hours would do
Yeah.
them good.
That's a weird.
But also more money
more
coming
money,
in from
But
your
Ferrari
position.
already get like a historic payment, so it
Yeah.
doesn't matter.
Yeah, they still make up for everything.
Money's, I don't think
coming.
money's a problem. for them.
Yeah, Ferrari don't care about that, man. They're the most popular team there. Even Pharrell Williams said it. Did you see? I want you guys to watch Grid Walk, by the way, because just one more time I want to talk about. He was interviewing Pharrell Williams, Martin Brundle, and he goes, "So which team do you?" He's like, "I love Ferrari cars." That's all he said. And he's like, "Lewis is my brother. I'm here
But
with
I like
Richard
it."
Mille." Dude, he even interviewed DJ Khaled. Like, you should have to watch that.
Of course, DJ
And
Khaled
he
was
was
there.
he was so
How
confused,
many
Martin Brundle.
celebrities were there?
Bro, if you look at the grid walk, it looked like a zombie apocalypse
Of
just
celebrities?
horrible celebrities you don't want to see on a grid, because it was.
I missed the grid walk because I was on my way back from Murray to Lahore,
Oh, okay.
and I just reached right, matlab race ke type pe.
Oh, okay, perfect. But it was hilarious.
And AR by TV doesn't show any pre-race.
Yeah, so it just
stuff.
shows the race.
So now,
yeah,
for
I
now,
totally watched it in a legal manner, guys. I did not
I'm
get
gonna
it.
stream it
yeah.
from the next race.
F1 TV stream, definitely. But yeah, it was weird. But getting back to the race, the McLarens going from 0 to hero to 0. Yet again, as a McLaren fan, it was really disappointing seeing Ricardo not qualifying
Yeah.
for Q3. He was knocked out again. Then in the race, we had Lando being stuck behind the DRS train. Fine, that happens. And then Ricardo not even really being
Danny
there.
Rick's race wasn't all that bad.
It was
I felt
fine.
like he's getting better on the brakes.
Yes, when he did that overtake, that's literally what I thought. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, he understands
He
the brakes
gets
now.
it.
He knows how to use the
Because it was
brakes.
one of those, the last of the late breakers
Yeah,
kind of
it was
overtake.
his signature move, which he used in that moment, and I was so happy. But in the end, he came, what was it, P13?
Yeah.
And obviously, Lando had that very weird crash with Pierre Gasly.
Yeah.
It came out of nowhere as well.
Gasly
Like,
didn't see him, basically.
Gasly
That
didn't
was
see him.
the
Gasly
point.
went wide at the last
Yeah.
corner,
Yeah.
and he just went to the
I mean,
left.
these
Yeah.
guys have like this small mirrors, man.
Even though Norris had more space on the left as well, but I don't think he anticipated Gasly
that
coming.
he
Yeah.
coming-
Yeah, Gasly
bouncing
was just
it.
moving onto the racing line,
Yeah.
basically getting more grip,
Yeah.
because that part of this track has no grip at all.
Yep.
Like, everyone lost moments there. But he had a horrible crash. It was like the wheel just like came off like
Just
a
immediately.
He
Yeah.
just span.
like it was instant. It just went it went out
Yep.
like just like a toffee or something. It was weird, and it was
Took them a while to clear it out. Also,
But that,
yeah. I mean, first they did a VSC, which was like,
I
why?
did not understand it.
Like
I feel like the Ferrari should have pitted as well.
Ferrari should have pitted.
So apparently they were almost crossed. Like when that exactly happened, they were almost crossing the start finish.
Max
line.
had crossed.
Max had
Crossed. Sorry.
And they were just crossing both of them. So
Oh.
that's why the reaction time for Ferrari wasn't. as
Obviously,
bad.
the Ferrari engineers weren't
Yeah.
reacting
Perez
fast
did,
enough.
but
slow button on.
Perez did.
Slow button
Russell-
always on.
Russell
Never did.
capitalized a lot on it because he didn't stop. until-
Bro, Russell
Russell-
was anticipating this.
Yeah,
His team
he
told him
said
to come
it.
in. He said, "How about we wait for a
Yeah,
VSC
that was like a perfect
or a
strategy.
safety car?" And yeah, it worked out for him.
Yeah.
It worked out
That
for
was
him
his
'cause
game plan.
He was able to overtake Hamilton in the end.
This
Afterwards.
guy was
That
on
was-
his first hards for a good 40 something
Yeah.
laps.
30
40?
something at 38 or something like that.
No.
Oh, it was
40
40
laps.
or
The
40
safety
laps.
car happened at like 40 something laps.
Oh, okay.
Because when the safety car went out, we had 10 laps
You're
remaining.
right. So 47.
So,
47
yeah.
laps. You're right. But he was able to overtake Hamilton thanks to that.
But
Smart.
did you think that overtake was a little too hard? Like in this case, like Russell had faster tires, and naturally you could have let him go, and he could have actually even charged Perez and potentially Sainz as well.
Oh no, he overtook off the track.
Yeah, but
And then he had to come
you
back.
had to overtake him
If he would have just given it back initially, so
because
the team were
Hamilton
slow to
didn't make it
respond.
easy for him in that
Obviously, why would he make it easy?
But
yeah,
like-
I'm not
but-
agreeing with you on that. I like if anyone in that situation wouldn't do it, especially when you're an older guy and this new kid comes to your team, you're not gonna let him just go by.
sense. Yeah, but for Mercedes, it would have been a bit like go
Bro,
off.
he could have
Perez, go
charged,
off
but
him.
Perez was also on fresh mediums.
But if
It would have
both-
taken 5 to 6 laps
Also,
to catch up to Perez, and then how are you going to overtake Perez?
yeah, with their straight line speed, and also like
Oh,
no way that
maybe.
poor.
Softs 7 laps old, mediums 7 laps old.
I don't know, it was interesting.
I'm
to see
taking
both.
the mediums.
Yeah, obviously, but it was interesting to see.
There's
both.
Also
no-
a Red Bull and a Mercedes.
Yeah,
so-
exactly. I was gonna say there's no way that like a dolphin-ass car is gonna overtake that Red Bull. That car was still porpoising like hell.
Yeah.
I don't think there was any chance of that happening. Anyway, I think it was just fine. It was just hard racing. It was fine. Cool.
But interesting to see that dynamic between them.
The lesser team orders we have
The
in
better.
terms
Yeah,
of
yeah,
like
better,
let this guy go
but
is
that-
better for us as fans.
Yeah, because also it's not clear in the moment. It's not like Charles and Sebastian's situation where we're halfway through the season
Yeah.
and they've said that, oh, he's the first driver now.
Yeah.
So you have to let him go. It's,
Yeah,
it's more
There's
like
also
that's-
no
yeah.
championship on the line. It's just points.
Yeah, but
So
it's interesting
whoever
to see,
can-
like, both went hard racing
Obviously,
between that in that sense. So,
I mean,
they're both fighting for their own reputations at this point.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
team has nothing to play for in this season.
yeah, so they're just trying to
So
I-
whoever finishes higher, that's the battle. The only battle they have is the battle between themselves.
because essentially they have P3 or P4
Yeah.
locked down in the constructors.
Yeah.
They're not going to lose out on that most likely. It doesn't look like that.
I think hands down P3.
Hands down P3. I don't know. I'm just hoping McLaren does something. McLaren kuch kar le yaar. But yeah, definitely P3 is most likely theirs. It's not going to go the other way. So I think that's where they're letting them race. And I don't ever see them ever saying, this is James Hamilton. Let
Yeah.
him go by. This ain't Bottas, bro. He's going to be like, excuse me? Who are you, James?
Also, Bottas finishing right behind Hamilton. Traditions. This is peak meme moment.
I mean, I wish Bottas didn't do that mistake. It was
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
Bottas-like mistake. Just
Yeah.
a very unreasonable error.
I feel like if he didn't make that mistake, he was my driver of the day. Perfect race.
Perfect race, perfect qualifying, bro.
Yeah.
He outshone in qualifying. He was so good in qualifying.
If you're beating two
You're-
Mercedes in an Alpha, I feel like that's fucking amazing.
Yeah, and
Very
when your
good.
team, unfortunately, Jogon, you didn't have a good race
Yeah.
because the DNF like 9 laps in or something.
He didn't have a race.
He didn't have a
Yeah.
race basically, and in qualifying he didn't do that well as well. He was
Yeah.
stuck in traffic. He had proper traffic
Yeah.
issues. That was unfair for him, which is unfortunate. We haven't seen much of him in the past
Yeah.
4 weeks, I guess. He had a good race start.
He has, but he's not. I feel like he's had a better start than Yuki. Yeah.
Yuki's done much better.
Yuki
Yeah,
just
had a
had
good
the
start
one
as well.
race.
No, but he's performed much better in comparison to last year. Last year he was kind of god awful sometimes.
No, I'm comparing Yuki's first season with Joe.
Oh, Yuki's first season. Yeah, Yuki's
Yeah.
first season wasn't good.
Yeah, it was the first race, and
yeah.
then there was this big
Yeah,
drop
then
off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is kind of similar where their teammates are the best of the rest.
Hmm.
Last year was Gasly. This year it's Bottas.
Yeah.
And but yeah, I feel like Joe is doing well. We'll see.
We'll
find
see.
out.
Well, hopefully he gets a good race next round in Catalonia. But overall, Bottas was definitely one of my favorites in the race as well, and alongside Vettel. But both of them had some issues which
Yeah.
caused them not to
Vettel
get
could have had an easy P8.
P8. Man, he was on for
P8,
another
yeah.
P8.
Yeah. It was
He's
good
gonna get more
for
points for the team. But moving along,
Lance Stroll got a point.
Lance Stroll got a point thanks to Alonso. Like Alonso was just helping out everyone today. The guy who was probably my other favorite driver, who I started off these podcasts by saying I'm not a big fan of him, is Albon. Red hair Albon, by the way,
Red
which
hair
apparently
Albon.
helps him get points. And he
Will
got,
we see the Williams team with red hair
Well,
next weekend?
I don't know, man. I think there's one guy who needs to get red hair if that gets him points, because that's Latifi. Bro, like Latifi's a new punching bag of F1. Unfortunately, it sucks that he has to be that way, but there's always one, and he's definitely going to be.
And we have Mick, who's not doing well.
Yeah, Mick, you can get that if you want that bag. I'm not sure if you want to though, but Latifi is not even in the talks right now.
Yeah.
Albon, you can see him on TV. There's footage of him fighting drivers. Like
Definitely.
he's had battles with Mercedes.
I feel like it's a
McLaren.
like for like replacement with Russell this year somehow. Albon is doing as well as maybe not in qualifying.
I think
not in qualifying, but this race pace has been amazing.
yeah,
these
they
past
didn't
few
have a
races.
good qualifying at all. Both of them finished P18, P19.
He's taking these alternate strategies in with tires and everything, and he's making it work.
Yeah, I mean the one in Australia, bro.
Yeah,
Gone
That
50,
was
50
crazy.
laps. Talk
the
about
literally the entire race.
entire race, and at the end they're like, okay, pit. It was brilliant from him. I really enjoyed it. Ocon had a good race, man. P20 to P8, great race from him.
That was really nice.
Really good race from him as well. But we haven't talked about the main
At the
thing.
end, his engineer was telling him to back up into the people behind him,
Ocon,
so
yeah,
that
he's told Alonso can.
so Alonso could keep his place.
And he's like,
even
I can't
after
do it.
and he's like, I ain't doing it because he was like, these guys are gonna overtake me. I'm not
you
playing team game right now.
can't put him up as a chicken was there.
Yeah.
It's for slaughter. But let's talk about
Top 4?
top 4. We haven't
Yeah.
talked about that yet. Right. So the battle started off straight away.
Bad
Verstappen-
start for Carlos Sainz.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't
Not
say
a bad start.
bad
Just
start.
It was.
he was also, I think,
There was nothing he
was-
could do. There
Yeah.
was nothing he could
Yeah,
do. He
it
went
was
into
just
the
a great
first
start from Verstappen. He had the line.
He hit the brakes as late as possible as he
Yeah.
could. There's nothing
but he
could
had
do.
the inside, and he had to.
And Leclerc in front of
And
him.
Max was not gonna.
Yeah.
So Sainz keeps having this problem where the same as Sergio, where the lead driver is in front of you at the start going into the first corner.
Yeah, like-
and then you always have to back off because you can't
Yeah,
charge
you
on
can't
and try to
lose your
take the
job.
lead. Yeah.
You can't lose your
They
job.
both never try to take the lead of
And
the race.
what I wanted to talk about, I really think these two can also fight for the championship if they get their head down. I think Sergio definitely can.
Yeah.
I think Sergio, if he didn't have those engine problems, bro, I was so sad. for him.
Again.
Why is he the one like?
Yeah, he was
so
catching up to
Saved
Sainz.
by
Yeah.
just
The
was
radio,
safe this time.
the
He had
radio
to-
was also like infuriating for me when I was hearing it. The engineer was like, "You just lost a toe, man."
Bro,
He's like,
it's
"Bro,
like,
I'm 3
bro."
seconds slower on the straight. What's going
What
on?"
are you talking about?
Like it was not good for him, and unfortunately, he was getting close to Carlos after the safety car. The engine problem came back again to bite him in the ass. Unfortunately, so Sergio had a good race considering what the
No,
engine performance had.
but towards the end, I mean, he was on the faster tire, and Sainz was on.
But he had
the
engine
overall.
issues, so kind of
Even towards the end.
yeah.
The engine issue was persistent. So what they
Sure.
did was one of their sensors failed, which is why the engine wasn't getting enough power. So
Then fine.
so
But
they
they-
killed another sensor and brought those
back,
operations onto that sensor.
Okay.
So he had like about 20 kilowatts or something less power
exactly.
coming in from here
okay.
because they're
Oh
hybrid
yeah, that's
engines,
like
right?
25 brake
A
horsepower
lot of the
batteries.
power
Yeah.
comes from the electrical.
So
side
that's
of
why
engine.
on the straight line on the straights he wasn't as fast as he was previously or as Max
Yeah.
Yeah.
because that's what Red Bull had.
But he
the upper-
tried. He tried.
He
with
did.
that
He
launch.
almost got him. He just
had
locked
this
up.
fucking send it into turn one.
Yeah, and he just went from, and Carlos was like, "Okay, bro, you go."
Those were some reaction from Carlos.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he just
it's
let
like
him
that
go.
was
okay.
that was an accident waiting to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just sent it. He went for it.
And that was dangerous from Sergio. That was mad dangerous.
He
Yeah.
got desperate a bit. He's like, I
Like,
need to
if-
now
if-
get him.
If Sainz hadn't have had the
Yeah, the
thought of
Sainz
going,
would have gone in.
yeah,
That probably would've-
this would have been a Mick Seb situation.
Yeah, I mean that was a bad crash in itself
Yeah.
as well.
It was just that Seb didn't see Mick coming in, and Sainz had the
Also, I wouldn't say Seb didn't have to see him coming in. You don't have to often look out for
Yeah.
a car just
Yeah.
punting into you in the back.
yeah. But that was I feel like that was dangerous and could have ruined both of their
Charles
races.
could have gotten Max, but straight line speed.
No, bro, he's Paul P2.
Yo, we could have had a Mercedes double podium in this race.
If that crash happened,
Yeah.
that could have been a case as well.
I feel like 6 out of 10 times that crash happens.
Yeah, it was a ballsy move.
It was a crazy reaction. Go back and look at it. It was
I
a
haven't looked
Yeah,
at it.
it
so
was
I can't
a
really comment on it.
last
He was
minute
just
reaction
calm.
from
He was like,
Sainz.
all right, he's just there. Let him go. I'm
Yeah,
not going to go
that's
turn
what I
right
thought as
now.
well. I'm like,
And
bro,
because
he
it was a
broke-
really long lockup as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sainz had nowhere to go.
bro, he went.
He
off,
literally
he went off the track as well. So like that was all. I think you're
Like,
right
you
about that.
literally see him like Sainz went like this, and then
Yeah.
he stopped. And he's like, oh, Perez is right there.
Yeah.
And then he went first, and then he took the corner.
Right, and moving on to Max Verstappen and Charles Leclerc battle. After he overtook Carlos in the first corner, Max got a pretty good run at him, and then we just had
Gobbled him, bro.
Yeah.
I feel like it was very imperative that Sainz had to stop Max at the start because because of how easy it was for him to overtake Charles. If Sainz had him kept behind for 3 or 4 laps or 5 laps in the beginning, he would have used up some of his tires, come up to Charles, and then it might have been a different battle from there on. He might not have had 7 seconds on him by the end of the first pit stops.
Yeah, exactly.
So because the Ferrari did have the pace, like,
and this is where we need Sainz to come into this battle now.
Yeah, exactly. That's where Pete, the second driver, is important, right? In championship battles, they always.
I mean, it was Perez was really like, oh no, you can't go.
I mean, Perez is also like sad that he's saying that we lost on another 1-2.
Yeah,
there was another 1-2 in the cards, which is probably right. If he didn't have those engine problems, he was on for a P2 easily. Yeah. He was definitely on for P2. I
don't know about that.
No, I think he definitely,
because up until he had his engine problems, Charles he wasn't able to overtake Sainz. And
nobody's catching up though. So he was catching.
Yeah, he was finally catching up to Sainz.
So we know, like,
it had been about 10-15 laps, I think.
But you have 40 laps left on afterwards.
But then Charles had a really big gap between him and Sainz as well.
Yeah, true. But I
feel like Charles had Sergio's number.
Right.
I can't believe that Sergio could have overtaken Charles. Maybe in the second pit stops if he was third.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I still think he would have had a chance if the engine didn't give up.
Yeah.
Because they were much faster in the straight line, man. They were 6 miles per hour.
They were faster in the straight line. They were better on their tires. That's why the mediums, and that's why Max overtook Charles so easily.
I hear Leclerc complain about tires every week now. Like, he's always
saying but the Ferrari is just generally not kind on the mediums right now. The hards, they're great. The minute the mediums come on, they're not doing it.
There's a little problem that I feel like Charles will have to get his head around as well, which is why every time he's in the lead and Max is behind him, you see for the first 5 to 8 laps, Charles starts to pull up ahead, and then his tires give in. And you see Max calmly going about his tires, and once Charles starts to drop off, that's when he pushes.
Yeah, it's
every time. It's been a constant thing that I've noticed कि ये हमेशा होता है. Max Charles, मैं इनके नाम क्यों इतने confused कर रहा हूँ यार. Charles starts to lose his tires, so he's not that soft on his tires, which is something that we saw great champions do, like Seb's win in Bahrain.
Sebastian
40 laps on a medium in Bahrain.
The guy who's been the kindest to his tires in Formula 1 history probably is Lewis Hamilton.
Yeah, like
7 words.
Seb even says it. Seb even says he massages these tires.
Yeah.
He's great with the tires. I think tires is a huge impact.
And this is something Max has learned over the years.
Yeah.
He's really good with his tires now. Even last season I saw it. He was great with his tires, and this season he's taking positions off Charles because he's much better. I don't know if it's the car. I don't know if I should be blaming Charles for it, but I feel like he pushes a little bit more because this is also his first time in a championship battle, and he's always trying to get ahead.
If you look at his junior career, he's had moments where he's been really good with tires. So I don't know, maybe it might be car specific, or maybe in F1 he's become far more aggressive.
But I think that it's time for Ferrari to bring upgrades to the car, because
we need upgrades,
they haven't upgraded this car since
which is very weird. Like, I think Red Bull's brought upgrades as well.
Everyone's brought upgrades
every single weekend.
So Ferrari's not bringing small upgrades. I think they're waiting out to bring a proper upgrade that they've tested in the wind tunnel and everything. So they're sure of what the upgrade is going to bring to the car, because they can't have a bad race because of upgrades.
Yes, but now they're going to fall back if they don't bring it fast.
Because
I think Spain should be the point.
It's a 2-point gap now in the Constructors' Championship.
Yeah.
It's like a 20 gap in the drivers.
Spain is usually the place where
everyone brings
a track where everyone brings upgrades.
It's also where they test the cars.
It's a testing place.
So they have more
each
data
sector
about it.
is like a different track.
So
it gives them a
we could be hopeful for some upgrades to Ferrari.
Let's hope they bring it, because they definitely need it in terms of straight line speed. Because
if this is the situation that we have throughout the season, this is Max's
they're not winning. Because the most impressive part about Max this year, first of all, he's equal Nelson Piquet's record of 23 win races. This is a big deal, man. 23. Seb has 54, 55 or something like that.
54.
So he's halfway there already. I think this guy's going to beat Hamilton's record, man. He's really young. He came into the sport when he was 16. And
if he has championship level cars for the next 10 years,
I don't think he's going to leave Red Bull, man.
He loves Red Bull.
Dude, I think he's
I couldn't
he's
think
still
Seb would leave Red
there,
Bull.
Man.
Seb would leave. I mean, I mean, if you watch 2013, you're like, he's gonna leave Red Bull.
Because he had the red and Ferrari right in front of him in
Yeah,
that moment, and
exactly.
that was his dream.
And the thing about Seb has always talked about like love of Ferrari.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
how he loves
that was-
Shumi.
Yeah.
He's
always
always
there.
admired Shumi used to let him
So
buy.
him going
But
to Ferrari
F1
was a natural
में
move.
situations create हो जाती हैं.
Yeah,
Seb
true.
wouldn't have had the chance to go to Ferrari probably if
Well, he was a champion. I think. he
if
would win.
Jules hadn't crashed.
Yeah, Jules Bianchi. Yes, definitely.
I think he was the heir to the Ferrari throne probably.
Yeah. It's
Him,
quite-
Alonso, and Raikkonen
But
would
Alonso left
would have
earlier
been
just
in the
to
mix.
have Seb there. Alonso went a year before his
Alonso had a contract offered to him, and then he was thinking about it, and then he decided to take it. But then Ferrari were like, "Fuck you,
We're getting
We're getting Seb."
champion.
Yeah, I'm going to McLaren Honda, the historic team, which did great.
That was the point where he should have retired for a year and then come back to another team.
Do a
God,
Kimi
dude.
Raikkonen.
I mean, that was horrible. But
Imagine Red Bull taking him out,
who?
Ooh.
Alonso.
Bro, that
At
was
one point.
insane. Like that would be really. That would be something. I think.
Danny Rick leaves
Fernando
and Alonso
comes
comes in.
and Max Verstappen.
Oh.
Dude, that would have been insane. I think that would have been a teammate battle that I would have loved to see.
Yeah.
Probably, I think Max is probably the best driver right now. Alonso's my favorite driver, and I think he's one of the greatest drivers of all time. He's my number one. I think that would have been something to witness.
Yep.
Because you haven't ever seen them fight on the track.
Yeah.
Because they've never had cars of
Yeah,
similar
equal cars, yeah.
aptitude.
Apart from maybe when the few races that Max was in Toro also.
Yeah, the few races he was there.
I think they were still better than McLaren
Yeah, I
at
was
that
gonna
point.
say, bro, you're forgetting McLaren Honda. It was really bad, bro. There was a time when there was 11 teams and they were P10. Like it was so bad, bro. Mauritia was the only team that they didn't get beaten by. But going back to the lap number 9 overtake, it was too easy, man.
Yeah.
He
Like,
was
it-
already behind him in that straight.
Yeah.
yeah. Also, I love how Ted Kravitz was like, "There's a battle going on for P14, by the way." like he's like 2 minutes, 2 minutes craft. Like, McLaren, he's overtaking P in the turn 1. He's already gone on the straight.
Gone. Finished
And that was the end
7
of-
seconds ahead.
End of the race, pretty much until the safety car. We had some hope of a battle, but
That
not
was a good
much.
battle. I feel like Charles was on to him. He could have had it.
Yeah,
They just
But I
had
felt
the
like
straight line speed. They
his
could have-
charge, I don't know which turn was it. Was it 14, 15? The little S. He went over the curb again.
yeah.
And he had some airtime, and after that the gap opened up and it never closed down.
he lost like 3-4 seconds right
Yeah.
there, so it was
Yeah.
over there again. Unfortunately, a lot of drivers made mistakes. The last 7 laps were exciting. The midfield
Yeah.
went off.
Yeah.
Like everyone was
Everyone was just
everyone's
like
like, this is my place. I'm overtaking you. I'm crashing into you. Whatever. I don't care. They went off, but overall the race was a dull after lap 9.
Yeah.
Nothing happened.
Yep.
DRS trains for days. A lot of cuts to crowds for no reason.
Wrong commentary.
Wrong commentary by Crofty. Random celebrities just showing up on screen as well. Like I know David Beckham's.
Yeah, he
That
kept
was the
showing up.
only celebrity I was okay seeing.
Yeah, I'm always okay seeing because he's genuine.
Will I am be I was like, yeah, you go.
I mean, like David Beckham's like we know he's a proper F1 fan.
Yeah.
With the other guys, we don't know that much.
With British celebrities, you can like assume that they're F1 fans as well because
Yeah.
Britain has an F1 heritage and a lot of people do watch F1 in England. But US पे कोई नहीं देखता.
Which is why they're going after the market, man. That's what
3
they're gonna have.
races.
But this-
bro, 3 races.
According to what they wanted, this race was a huge success.
Oh yeah, it
Because
had
they had 11 billion celebrities and
11
tickets sold.
billion, yeah.
Tickets sold out, so they had a lot of coverage.
And the tickets were expensive.
Yeah.
They were not the cheap ones. They
Yeah.
were expensive. Like throughout, I think even qualifying was expensive. Usually, like you can get free practice for like 40 euros or something. I think here was like $100 or something.
Damn.
Yeah, so like that was not cheap.
This is the start of us having 4 races in the US
No.
in a calendar year. I'm
Where
telling
they-
you,
bro-
we're gonna go up to 4.
So we have Miami, Austin, and Las Vegas next year.
Yes.
3.
Yeah, bye
Imagine they tried
bye
to-
Vietnam. The US has done something to you again. like, oh no. I really wanted that Vietnam race because that
Yeah.
track
That
looked
was
insane.
insane.
Yes,
Yeah.
it looked
That
really
looked
nice.
like what an oval track should be for an F1
Yeah.
circuit because
That was
it
really nice.
looks really cool. I wish they could still go back there.
Imagine they try to revive plans for the New York Grand Prix again, like they did in the 90s, which
I
got
mean,
shut
looking
the
at
fuck
Liberty's-
down.
I don't think that would be
Plans, it might
possible.
be.
I'm not totally up for it. I don't want so many US races, plus they're really late in the day.
Not
even the day, it's early morning.
With 2. Max.
2 is fine.
Yeah, 2 is fine.
2 is fine, and we're gonna have to watch this one for a long time. I think Vegas is
Yeah.
also 5 years or something.
Yeah, 5.
So we're gonna have to watch
Austin is there.
a lot of Americans.
They might replace Austin at some point. I feel.
But Austin's a great track.
But Austin always gives you good races.
Yeah, it's a great track.
Even in the hybrid
I
era.
feel like to get another one in after Vegas, they might replace.
But where are they gonna go? It's like
Indianapolis laate वापस.
Crash galore. Tires are
Crash.
going off.
yeah.
We have
Get it
6
back.
cars on the starting
The
grid.
only way Leclerc can win now is like going.
PTSD हो जाए सबको.
That was, by the way, the worst race in Formula One
it
history.
was shambles. I think that's when that's when the US Grand Prix started losing traction.
Yep.
It was the biggest reason they lost the US audience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They didn't even offer.
That was
refunds.
also till date the biggest crowd
yes.
in the US 2005 US Grand Prix, and then that shit
There
show
were 6
happened
cars.
and they didn't give anyone their money back.
So like imagine the 6 cars being Ferrari. All right, cool. Jordan, and then what was the
8
third?
actually. There was one Michelin team in it also.
Really? He started?
One Michelin team came in. I don't know which team it was.
I remember the pictures being just 6 cars.
Yeah.
I think it's only
It's
3
6
teams.
cars.
It
It
was
was
6
only the
cars.
Bridgestone ones.
Because it was Jordan.
But Jordan and the other team said that if
And-
others aren't racing, we won't race. But they ended
they
up
raced.
racing.
Yeah, because
Because they were like, we'll do it, we'll get the points.
the big hand of Bernie Eccleston at the time
yeah, it's like,
was like, "Bhai, tu kar raha hai." Chup karke
तू
drive
कर
kar.
सकते हैं.
So
Funny thing was that Michael and Barrichello almost crashed into
yeah,
each
that
other
was
in that race.
I remember seeing that.
We would have had a Jordan 1-2 in that race.
No, I mean, bro, Narayan khate rahe. It wasn't. Kya naam tha Indian driver ka? Narayan.
Karthikeyan.
Karthikeyan.
One of the worst drivers ever in F1. He was still P6 or something in that race. It was.
There were 6 cars.
There's 6 cars in that race, man. He still couldn't do it. It was the Portuguese driver who ended up being on the podium. But yeah, that was a shambles of race. That's why they lost the US audience. That's why they're back now, and that's why they're paying for it,
Yeah.
which you pointed out very rightfully.
Facts.
But I don't want this. I don't like it, man, because I don't want them to do these police escorts. They want to do these American.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, dude. After that,
Why can't you do things normally, man?
Like, don't just
Stop.
Just do a normal race and don't make a track like Valencia, for God's sakes. Why does this track look exactly like Valencia? My biggest problem with the track is that it looks like a Formula E track, which is a big
Yes.
insult, by the way.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a huge insult because
Koi runoffs nahi hai. There's nothing happening.
there's this tech foam,
Yeah.
crappy barriers as well, like you pointed out. It's horrible. It looks like a Formula E track. Formula E would do really well there.
Yeah,
How
Formula
are these
One.
barriers approved by the Formula One committee?
उन दोनों को
FIA
COVID
does it.
दोनों को कोविड हो गया था, इसलिए वो दोनों थे नहीं उधर.
Michael Massey's back.
No, but what about he was back?
No, I'm asking. Was he?
No, I actually don't know who was the
Race
chief
director?
party check. Yeah, it
I
didn't
have
show
no
up
idea.
afterwards.
Okay.
Maybe they recovered quickly. But it's Miami.
How
They
are
don't care
these
about COVID.
tests passed? I'm very confused. I'll read about
FIA
this.
does it. FIA has to
so
give it.
what happens is that before the race, they actually have to pay their stewards, their FIA team, to bring them over and check the track. So it's thoroughly checked. So this is the issue. That's why the F1 drivers were all like, bro,
51G.
yeah, 51G.
I mean, Saudi Arabia didn't even have that bad of a crash.
No, that's the thing. But
That was Max's crash at Silverstone.
Yeah, Silverstone.
52G.
yeah, and that's being in contact with another car and a huge runoff with gravel.
That was 250 kilometers an hour into
Yeah.
the wall.
And it was
This was-
wheel to wheel racing.
This wasn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This was just Ocon
Yeah. Just like.
misjudging the corner
Yeah.
and then going into the barriers.
Yeah. Same with signs. But
So-
Fix
anyway.
your safety.
But yeah, basically the Miami Grand Prix was that way. And let's move on to the fact that, did you guys change your F1 fantasy team?
No.
I wanted to keep it the same.
I actually didn't.
I didn't. I forgot again. I reminded
forgot.
both of you. Right.
I know. I looked at it. I was like, "Theek hai."
I forgot I didn't look at it.
Yeah, so I ended up not changing again because I forgot. I had Leclerc and
Oh,
Magnussen.
you forgot?
Yeah, I forgot. I reminded you
reminded
guys.
us.
I reminded you guys, boys, change karna, qualifying hone wala hai. And then I forgot to change it. I had Leclerc, Magnussen, Alonso, Perez, Norris in my team. So not a good weekend for me. That did not go well for me.
Can you check my team?
I'll
What
have it.
points did I get?
I'll have it open. It'll take a little while. The internet's a bit slow. But moving on to the fact that, what did you think overall the Grand Prix? What's the rating? What number would we give out of 10?
6.
Ooh,
6.
you guys are kind. I was going for 3 or 4. I did not like this race.
6 because of the final few laps and the first few laps. And just so the difference between these DRS trains and the DRS trains we had in the past few races was that we had overtakes in the middle of the DRS train. So we'd have like people overtaking each other, but the train continued. Like the Aston Martins kept going up and down the 4-car order, I remember, in both the DRS trains that we had throughout the race. So it was a bit better. There was some overtaking at least.
Yeah, you're right about that. But I just think overall, in terms of the season, this is probably the weakest race we've had so far.
Yeah, definitely.
Which is saying a lot because the next 2 races are Catalonia and Monaco, which are historically very boring races. Yeah. But I'm excited to see.
I think Charles's next win is going to be Monaco if he doesn't crash. Because that car is made for Monaco.
Definitely.
That car is
I'm excited for Catalonia because I want to see how these cars react there. I hope
Ferrari did really well in testing, and so did McLaren.
Yeah, McLaren that's where everyone's like, oh, McLaren's really good, and I was very happy. And then the first race happened.
Heartbreak.
McLaren might be back.
Yeah, McLaren might be back, but I'm excited to see how this cars react because the biggest issue with that place is that no overtakes happen.
I'm excited to see upgrades on Ferrari, over there.
I'm more excited to see upgrades on the Aston Martin, to be honest.
Yeah.
Either way, we're going to see upgrades on all the cars because Catalonia is historic for that as well, that all the teams bring upgrades for that race. And I've opened up your team, your F1 Fantasy team. You got 222 points, so you beat me. I got 188.
What was my team?
You had Leclerc, Perez, Sainz, Alonso, Magnussen, and Ferrari was your team. Yeah, so you ended up with 222.
Perez, Alonso.
And Zarar Khan, you had it's opening. Let's keep talking. It's not opening. But basically,
F1, predictions for the next race.
Yeah, let's go for predictions for the F1 race as this opens. Catalonia, I believe.
I predicted a max win.
Very long straight. Oh, that the previous
race. I just got to thinking. What was I think I had a Red Bull 1-2 and then Charles.
No, I think you said you think Sainz was gonna win. I swear.
I did?
Yeah. You were very hopeful. You said...
I thought he'd have a comeback.
Yeah, you thought he'd have a comeback.
No, I said he'd finish P3 and Charles wouldn't.
Oh.
I think I had Red Bull.
All right, we should...
Because I remember not having much hope for
I'm going to write our predictions for this time so we know next time so we don't have this awkward moment. So what are the predictions for next week? I think Catalonia has very long straights. It might be
one long straight and then one back.
And that's proven to be very powerful for strong teams. It's made it very easy for them to run through other teams because if they have straight line speed, as per we've seen with Ferrari with their illegal engine. I like to bring that up because it's just funny. I think it might be a Ferrari victory. I'm hopeful.
You went might be a Ferrari victory.
I don't want.
I feel like you might have a Ferrari victory because there's not 3 really long straights like we've had in the past.
Because I think Sector 3 will be the one that's always been historically to make it or break it for people. Because we saw that whenever Ferrari were good in Sector 1 or 2, it didn't matter because Mercedes would beat the crap out of them in Sector 3. Like it was a huge difference. Like Vettel would be like a second above Hamilton in qualifying, and then suddenly Hamilton's 0.4 ahead of him. Yeah, it was ridiculously effective, and we saw that in testing. Sector 3 was really good for Ferrari. But I'm hopeful for a Ferrari victory because either Max does one thing or the other. He either DNFs this season or he wins a race because his record is DNF first DNF
3 wins and a sprint win.
Yeah, and a sprint win too. So he's had 4 victories technically this season. So great start for him. Nothing less than a victory. So I'm thinking probably a Charles Leclerc, a Max Verstappen.
And then Sergio Perez.
And I'll go for Carlos.
No, I think I'm going for Carlos.
I'm going for Carlos.
Yeah, same.
Bro, it's Spain. I'd love it if he wins, though.
Yeah, I'm good. You're going Carlos winning.
Mm-hmm.
No, P3. Okay. So you have the same prediction as me? Mm. So P1, Charles. P2, Max. P3, Carlos. What are your predictions, Anoosh?
P1, I shall write this down. Carlos. Because it's Spain. And I'm hoping Ferrari brings updates.
You're going P1 for Carlos.
Yeah, I'm going P1 for Carlos.
I
don't see that
appreciate
happening.
your. Yeah, I don't.
It's coming. I feel that win is coming somewhere.
Bro,
Carlos gets one win this season.
I hope he does. That'd be really sad if he doesn't get a victory, by the way. And he hasn't got a pole position.
He'll get
yet.
one because Charles is gonna fuck it up somewhere, and he'll have to win the race. Like Sergio had to win Azerbaijan last year.
Good. I'm excited for Azerbaijan as well. It's probably the only street circuit I like. But
P2 Charles.
Yeah.
And P3 Verstappen.
okay, so he's going. Oh, he's going for the
1-2 for
the wishful thinking one.
Yeah, because I'm hopeful for the upgrades. I'm hopeful that they're gonna get on top of their things. Because that car has potential, a lot of potential. They just need to fix just a little things.
Very attractive.
Yes.
If they just get their VO2 max fixed in, which is their straight line top speed, then it's Charles Leclerc champion of the world. It's because that's the only thing that the Red Bull has on them. Charles does really well in every other sector where there is no straight. And every time there is a straight, he gets fucked.
True. Exactly. So I think that's our predictions for next week.
Yep.
We're going to go Catalonia next week. I'm excited to see. Hopefully we don't get a boring race next time. Thank you guys for coming on. This has been On The Mic. This has been Lights Out. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment. Make sure to follow Zarar Khan on Instagram. Make sure to follow Anoosh Zirik. Make sure that you also tell F1 that we didn't like the Miami Grand Prix. Please stop having that interviewer show up. Please don't put them in American football helmets.
Share this podcast with your friends.
Yes.
Share this podcast with your family. Share it with your girlfriend. Maybe your boyfriend if you're a girl watching it.
Your
Just
fiance.
share it with everyone. Share it
with your fiance.
With your fiance.
Share with your fiance. This has been fun. We'll see you next time when the checkered flag drops. Bye-bye.